I'm delighted. I'm delighted for everyone.
And beating, what a screamer!
Mitchelton away, Mitchelton, terrific run! Fantastic goal by Chip Mitchelton!
Chipped it in, there's Mariner flicking on. Walk back tracking, great goal!
The club was founded as an amateur side in 1878 and were known as Ipswich AFC until 1888 when they were merged with Ipswich Rugby Club to form Ipswich Town Football Club. The team won a number of local competitions, including the Suffolk Challenge Cup and the Suffolk Senior Cup. After playing in the Norfolk and Suffolk League from 1899 and the South East Anglian League between 1903 and 1906, they joined the Southern Amateur League in 1907 and, with results improving steadily, became champions in the 1921-22 season. The club won the league a further 3 times in 1929 to 1930, 1932-33, 1933-34, but before becoming founding members of the Eastern Counties Football League. At the end of the 1934-35 season, a year later, the club turned professional and joined the Southern League, which they won in its first season and finished third in the next. Ipswich Town have had some of the greatest managers this country has ever produced, starting with Alf Ramsey, who retired from his playing career with Tottenham at the age of 35. Ipswich then took a risk in employing an inexperienced manager, and the rest is history. Ipswich rose through the divisions over the next 6 years, winning the 3rd Division South in 1956-57 and the 2nd Division in 1960-61. In the 61-62 season, Ipswich's first ever campaign in the top division, Ramsey's team defied expectations to become the champions of England and still stands till this day as one of the biggest shocks to ever happen in English football. The title went down to the final day. What would you say was your favourite and why?
My favourite game was probably, there were so many, pretty much every one. I went to 9 games and every one I can remember in some detail. But the one that stands out for me was against Tottenham Hotspur. We went, Father and I went down on the train from London with the Tottenham fans, but obviously we didn't display our scarves, so we kept quiet about that. And when we got there, it was just one goal after another, and Tottenham were the team to beat. They recently won the double, the FA Cup and the league, and they were a magnificent team. They had lots and lots of absolutely top-class international players, yet we outplayed them with a series of goals and tactics that proved to be absolutely spot on. It was a fantastic game, the atmosphere was good, there were hardly any fouls, just a wonderful game.
When we first appointed Alf Ramsey, did you ever think that we'd go to the heights that we reached?
I didn't think we'd go anywhere near the heights that we did reach. Nobody did, because we'd come from the southern counties to 3rd Division South, 2nd, 1st Division, and it was a phenomenal rise, and done with players that weren't expensive. We couldn't afford to sign anybody, so we just Alf picked out lots of different players from different clubs, all experienced players, and it worked brilliantly. He had a wonderful tactical scheme of employing deep-lying wing.
Who was your favourite player and why?
My favourite player is easy to say. I'm just going to show you a shirt. This was a repro worn by my hero, whose name is Ray Crawford, and he is probably the best centre forward that Ipswich have ever had and ever likely to have. He was my favourite because all the other players were quite older than him. I was 16 at the time, so he was about 20, and he scored buckets of goals. He was a brilliant player. I've met him since, lovely bloke, really, really charming, modest and helpful and friendly.
Bobby Robson moved on to Ipswich Town in 1969. It was there that he established his reputation as a successful manager. Supported by the club chairman John Cobbold and then later by his brother Patrick Cobbold, he won the vacant job in the Suffolk club after a chance encounter with town director Murray Sangster while scouting at Portman Road for Chelsea manager Dave Sexton. After 4 mediocre seasons, Robson led Ipswich to 4th place in the First Division and success in the Texaco Cup in 1972-73 season. In the following 9 seasons, Ipswich finished lower than 6th place in the First Division only once, in the 1977-78 season. However, that season was a success, with a 1-0 victory over Arsenal in the FA Cup. His reign at Ipswich lasted 13 years, during which time the club twice finished as league runners-up and made regular appearances in European competitions, capturing the UEFA Cup in 1981 with a 5-4 aggregate victory over Dutch side AZ 67. Ipswich Town has struggled to match the glory which the club achieved in the early 60s and late 70s, early 80s, with the club struggling to compete with other financial powers, bouncing in between the first and second division for a majority of the time, up to current day, where they've been stuck in the Championship for 16 consecutive seasons. Hopefully in the near future, the club can turn to the glory which it once achieved and unite the community.